the sport of mixed martial arts, the difference between a win or a loss can happen at any moment. A single punch, a single takedown, or even a single mistake is what separates the champions from the contenders. When it's all over, a fighter's legacy is what's left behind. Now it's your turn to rewrite the legacy of a UFC fighter. With their talent in your hands, let's find out if you'll lead them into obscurity or into octagon glory. Welcome to UFC Undisputed 3's Career Mode. I'm Mike Goldberg, and I'll be here to help guide you during your career. With Roster Career Mode, you'll have the chance to take your favorite UFC fighter through a career and recreate or rewrite it as you see fit. Let's get started by selecting a weight division and fighter. Now that you've selected your fighter, it's time to decide what their background or base technique is. Selecting a base will dictate what your starting stats and moveset are, and while you will be able to complement it by training with camps during your career, you will not be able to change it, so make sure you're happy with your selection. After you've selected your base, you'll then need to select your stance and power hand. Once these are set, we'll jump into some training exercises to see how well you handle yourself inside the octagon. Every great mixed martial artist has to start with the basics. There's more to fighting than knowing how to throw a punch or how to shoot for a takedown. You're going to need to put it all together if you want to compete against the best. You need cardio, footwork, an arsenal of attacks, and the ability to defend against every single one of them. Your training begins now. Good job, my friend. You're just about ready to start your pro career. Before we move on, you'll now be asked to choose a difficulty setting to play the rest of your career on. While you do receive minor benefits to playing on harder difficulty settings, you will be unable to change your difficulty once you begin. You can retake the difficulty test again to practice, or feel free to select a difficulty now. Debuting in 2001, the World Fighting Alliance featured a Vegas nightclub atmosphere with some of the top talent in all of mixed martial arts. Future champions like Quentin Rampage Jackson, Rich Franklin, and Lyoto Machida all fought in the WFA before making their way to the octagon. An impressive performance here will earn you a ticket to the big show. Your professional MMA career starts now. Welcome to the World Fighting Alliance. It's here you'll get a chance to build up your reputation and record, as well as develop as a fighter before entering the big leagues and joining the elite fighters in the UFC. First things first, you'll have to schedule a fight before you can perform any other actions. So let's go ahead and do that now. This is the schedule fight interface. Here you'll see the possible opponents you can select from, along with information about them and the potential matchup. Based on the matchup, you'll be given a number of actions which you can perform leading up to the fight. Actions include things like training, going to train with other camps to learn new moves, or setting up a game plan for your upcoming fight. The number of actions you'll have for taking a fight is displayed in the fight info section. If you're feeling confident, higher-ranking opponents will be worth more cred. Think of cred like currency. You'll need to spend cred to train, to attend camps, as well as purchase items, and to raise your fighter stat limitations. Go ahead and take your time to review each of these opponents, then make a selection for your first fight. As you progress through your career, other events will take place that you may not be a part of. You can choose Watch to watch the event, Simulate to simulate the event and results, or select Always Simulate, which will simulate all events you are not part of without prompting you to make a decision. If you select Always Simulate, you can turn this option off by entering the Options menu from the Career main menu. After you've chosen an opponent, it's time to start preparing for the fight. For now, we'll focus on training sessions, which will allow you to raise your fighter's skills and attributes by participating in training drills and sparring sessions. Let's take a look at how to train your fighter now. By training, you'll affect your fighter's stats. Which stats, how much, or how little will depend on what type of training you do. You can see which stats are affected in the window above, as well as the current max level that can be reached for each stat. Displayed in the window above are the effects of receiving the best possible grade for a session, so that should be your goal. Also, these sessions will cost cred and one training action. The cred cost will be deducted from your fight purse, so don't worry about not having enough cred to train, as you will always have enough. After you've selected the type of training you want to do, you can choose Manual to control your fighter, or you can select Auto to skip ahead and simulate the session. Don't get lazy though. You'll always get more out of a training session if you select Manual, especially if you get the best scoring grade. Go ahead and select a training session now.
Let's see you throw some combos. Rotate around. Circle, circle. Stay light on your feet. Change up your angles. See that hard work pays off. Okay, adjust. Move your feet. go. Change position now. I see you're improving. Circle around. Think about it. Nicely done. You're definitely improving. Here we go. Change position. Let's go. Let's go. 10 seconds left. Great work today, man.
After each training session, you'll be shown a results screen which shows the changes made to your stats based on your performance and the grade you received. While training, try to mix things up. Doing the same type of training repeatedly causes wear and tear on your body, and the amount of points earned may be less than your previous session. As you continue to develop and show proficiency in each of the training games, the games themselves will get harder. For now, feel free to get used to each of the games and balance out your fighter stats. If any of your stats become maxed out, you can also select Shop from the Career main menu and spend your cred to increase your stat caps. The preparation and training has come to an end, and it's time to fight. If you're confident enough, you can also select the Fight Now option at any time, even if you have actions remaining. While this will allow you to jump right into your next fight, it will cut into the time needed for developing your fighter. Select the Fight Now option to proceed to your scheduled fight.